قل أفغير الله تأمروني أعبد أيها الجاهلون.
Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum. So today we're gonna be doing something different, a reaction video. I've never done this before. I'll be reacting to some tweets by Yasmine Mohammed. She's an ex-Muslim, an atheist on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm talking about. So I just picked up some of her tweets and yeah, reaction to it. Enjoy, inshallah. Alright, first tweet. She says, Islam's hold on the planet is largely due to ignorance. People really never understood their religion because the vast majority don't understand Arabic. But now translations are available.
Wow!
Now they can see what they were signed up for as infants. This is inaccurate and kind of deceptive. She's saying now like she's coming up with something supposedly freeing us from all evil. Lady, translations of Islamic narrative has been a thing since the 9th century, literally few centuries after the death of the Prophet, may peace be upon him. And on top of that, I wonder how it is then that Islam has more converts now than ever before. According to Pew Research statistics, we have more converts than apostates in this period of history. Are we going to blame the translations now? Let's take a look at her argument. Basically, she's saying that the majority of Muslims don't understand their religion because they can't comprehend Arabic. So she reaches the conclusion that they have no access to true Islamic knowledge whatsoever. That's false because it's based on a logical mistake, a mistaken reasoning called non sequitur. Simply not speaking a language does not mean you actually have no access to the knowledge of narratives presented in that language. There's many means by which one can learn something. He doesn't have to learn a whole new language, for example. So when she says also the majority of Muslims don't understand, that's quite of a bold claim because she just conjured up a statistic out of thin air on the basis of a non sequitur. It's a very childish argument. Majority of Muslims are not Arabic speakers, therefore they don't understand Islam. What's even more flawed in her reasoning is that she's implying that understanding of the Islamic message will necessarily lead people out of Islam. This is another mistaken reasoning, another logical fallacy. It's a false equivalence. She's equating her own flawed understanding of Islam to true understanding of Islam. All right? She's assuming that once you're going to be reading translations of the Quran or whatever, you're going to see things the way she sees them. I also wonder why the majority of Islamic theologians are still Muslims. I wonder why brilliant minds converted and still convert to Islam. I wonder why Arabs are still Muslims. Is everyone delusional here but Yasmine Mohammed? What is happening here but a lady who lacks understanding of theology projecting her own feelings and flawed understanding as theological authority?
Another one.
Be advised, because this next tweet is rather disgusting. On this we have Yasmine Mohammed, and she's justifying neo-Nazis. Yes, neo-Nazi protesters from Germany by saying that they are poor, normal citizens that just happen to be scared and hungry, and immigrants flooding their country. And she says, are they really Nazis? Are we sure of that? My goodness. Notice how the news post she's reacting to says that these people were displaying behaviors that are in clear compliance with Nazi ideologies. And from other sources, the same is reported, but no. How can they be Nazis? How is this guy a Nazi? By the logic of Yasmine Mohammed, he was just a normal citizen that happened to be scared and hungry at Jewish people flooding his country. He just randomly raised his arm doing that Nazi salute, just like the people she's trying to justify here. They are all the same. They just happen to raise their arm, all right? They're not Nazis. People like Yasmine Mohammed are actually scary when they come up with this kind of gibberish. not to say other stuff, because these people show you that they hate their religion so much to the extent of justifying those who ascribe to criminal ideologies. She doesn't care if they are Nazis or criminals. As long as they speak her hate for Islam, she's ready to justify them, to question if they're Nazis or not.
Another one.
On this next tweet, she makes a correlation between crimes of human trafficking and the question of slavery in Islam. More mistakes in reasoning for Yasmine Muhammad, this time guilt by association and as such straw man. A straw man, it's a mistake in reasoning that happens when someone attacks your position by misrepresenting it. And she's misrepresenting it by associating Islamic rulings on slavery with crimes that are not representative of these rulings. In simple words, she is deploying deceptive rhetorics to appeal to your emotions in order to discredit the Islamic position. Now, listen, I'm gonna do the same right now. Mao Zedong, the Chinese dictator, killed millions of people. He was an atheist, just like Yasmine Muhammad. See what the ideology of Yasmine Muhammad can do? Now, I don't believe the atheistic position is necessarily reflected by Mao's actions, but this is the gibberish logic of Yasmine Muhammad. Criminals doing crimes do not necessarily reflect the truthfulness of their ideology, nor what their ideology is actually about. Islam came as a limiting factor, as a regulative factor to the widespread phenomenon that was slavery. And if you want actually something meaningful on this topic, a good read is the book by Jonathan Brown, Slavery in Islam.
Another one.
We have another straw man. No one is executed in Sharia simply for being gay or having homosexual desires. The punishment is carried out in a Muslim society for sexual intercourse and has such conditions that it is almost virtually impossible to incriminate the true homosexuals unless they engaged in the act in a public or risky setting. Something which is punished in the West as well. It's called public indecency. Nonetheless, the act has a private reality, and that is left to the ultimate authority of God and His punishment. God is the one who dictates the right and wrong. Once God is out of the equation, all that is left are people like Yasmine Muhammad trying to bend reality to their own feelings and delusions, trying to appeal to your emotions to justify things like homosexuality, incest, or convince you that the gender of this guy is to be acknowledged as he determines it to be, and that his life matters, so it's fine if he ruins his family and those around him to pursue his own feelings.
Another one.
Don't you find it childish how people sometimes draw general conclusions on the basis of few instances of a phenomenon and disregard anything that doesn't agree with their feelings? This is exactly what she's doing, projecting her own notion of hijab, a tool of misogyny, she says, and as a bully, she generalizes that it is such the case for everyone, when it's not. Hijab in Islam is obligatory, yes, but not to be forced. In such cases, there is no connection between the ones abusing the female and the actual religious principles, which actually condemn the abuse. And the thing that she's disregarding here, she's acting like she's the ultimate authority in feminine matters, all right, when this is not the case. The vast majority of women, of Muslim women I've met in my life, they were proud Muslimas. They wear hijab with pride. And even those who did not wear it, they were perfectly fine with respecting those who did choose to wear hijab. So stop generalizing everything in accordance to your feeling. That's very disingenuous of you, Yasmine Muhammad.
I just want to say how proud I am of what she's wearing, and I'm honoured to be her son. And for all the haters that got something to say, Mum, take over.
There was a lot of honest questions, and I'd like to give you an honest answer. I'm not oppressed. I'm honoured, I'm dignified, and I'm liberated. I choose to wear what I wear for my Lord, my Creator, to please Him and Him alone, as opposed to other women who wear what they wear to please man, and man can never be pleased.
I love ya.
Another one.
In this tweet, she says thoughts and prayers to the ex-Muslims forced to leave with their families and hide food in their underwear. Because you know, Ramadan. Ya Habibi, stop playing the victim, because Islam forces nobody to fast. But if your argument is about the harshness their families or parents would answer with, then know that normal parents answers with harshness to anything they believe to be dangerous or negative for their kids. My mother would be harsh on me if she found me doing drugs because she believes that drugs are bad for my health. And my mother would be harsh on me if she found out that I left Islam, hypothetically, because she knows that leaving Islam is bad for my akhirah. This is what genuine people do. This is what loving parents do. If our mothers and fathers genuinely believe that there is good in Islam, then their love for us would push them to give us some tough love to try to rectify our ways. That said, parents should not abuse and restrain themselves from doing so.
Another one.
And here she says that people brush them off. She means ex-Muslims, believing their experiences to be irrelevant. Well, you are the minority, and it would be logically fallacious to draw general conclusions about Islam in light of the minority. Your personal experiences, they do matter, but they do not necessarily tell us anything about the truthfulness of Islam per se. And let me apply your very same logic once again. I'm gonna use your same words. You, ex-Muslims, love to dismiss the experiences of the majority of Muslims. You know our stories. We are billions more than you. The experiences of millions and millions of Muslims are irrelevant to you. Countless of us have sad stories to tell, difficult lives, and still chose Islam. Yet you, ex-Muslims, say that our experiences are irrelevant. You only want to see what you feel like seeing in reality. You dismiss like a bully anything that doesn't abide by your feelings. Reflect.
Another one.
On this entry, we have the PhD literature Yasmine Muhammad saying the Quran is badly written, repetitive, and not poetic. Now, I'm making a bad remark here. Of course, anyone can have an opinion about something, but let's state some facts really quick. Joseph Schacht, a British-German professor of Arabic and Islam at Columbia University in New York, describes the nature of the Quranic style by saying, and I quote, "The Quran was also a linguistic document of incomparable importance. It was viewed as a source of grammatical and lexicographical information, its stylistic inimitability notwithstanding. It even came to be treated as a standard for theories of literary criticism." And Arthur John Arbery, a respected British Orientalist, a prolific scholar of Arabic, Persian, and Islamic studies, states briefly, the rhetoric and rhythm of the Arabic of the Quran are so characteristic, so powerful, so highly emotive, that any version whatsoever is bound in the nature of things to be but a poor copy of the glittering splendor of the original. Now, Schacht, Arbery, Stube, Robinson, Zamet, Dawood, Palmer, Hirschfeld, Sells, Johns. Many Orientalists and linguists highlight how the Quranic discourse is a unique genre that exemplifies the peak of literary beauty. And then you have Yasmine Muhammad saying it's badly written. Her opinion, of course, she's entitled to it. It just has the intellectual validity of a joke.
الله أكبر Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police!
See, this is pretty much Yasmine Muhammad, someone who hates Islam so bad that she doesn't care if she's lying or being deceptive. As long as she gets to denigrate Islam, she doesn't care about ethics. It got to the point where even her ex-Muslim friends rebuked her. This is quite funny. And that's what Yasmine Muhammad is. Nothing special. If I had to address her and the rest of her ex-Muslims comrade with a Star Wars reference, it would be this.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy their sin, not join them! Bring balance to the force, not leave it in darkness!